kind of just have to trust your gut and go. And it's a fault. You're never going to shut it off. Owning your own business, you're not done at 5:00. It's a 24/7.
Hello and welcome to Formally Informal with Leo and LAINE. Let's chat about business tips we wish we knew before launching an LLC, things we're still learning the hard way, and how we try to balance all the adulting things life continues to throw our way. So grab a glass of wine and get comfortable because it's time to get formally informal.
Hello, Leo gang. Welcome back to the official episode 1 of Formally Informal. I am Paige here with Lynzee and Kayla.
Hello again.
So before we get started, I wanted to talk about our highs and lows from this last week. So Elle, do you want to go ahead and kick it off?
Sure. So I loved yesterday was beautiful weather. You came over, Paige. We let the dogs run around. So to me, that was a nice high because I got to kayak. I think I kayaked more yesterday than I have all like in a year's time. I kayaked 3 times yesterday, but it was so gorgeous and I took full advantage. A low for me last week on the same vein of like weather. It was kind of gloomy all week and I had my own kind of goal to get out more and to walk, and I think I walked like twice. So I always feel really guilty. I feel bad for like me and the dogs. So I'm setting some, hopefully next week my high is that I walked every day.
It's a good one. Kay, how about you?
My high is that I officially signed a lease.
Woo!
Secrets out if anyone watches this. My low, I think I have like a lot going on in life and work and generally, and I'm feeling a little just off.
I feel like that's pretty typical for you're experiencing a lot of change.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of stuff
going
in flux.
On, a lot I need to do, and I'm not getting it done. So hopefully I have a productive week this week.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
I know, cheers.
What about you, Pete?
So for me, honestly, again, the high, it was the weather. I think my mood is very much affected by the weather outside, and we've been like, Midwestern, just waiting for it to finally get nice around here mid-May, and it's, still not the warmth that we're hoping and wanting. So this past weekend for me too, it's just been so nice that it's finally, my boyfriend and I just bought a house. We were able to like do some yard work and stuff that was much needed, and just being outside and having all the windows open in the house, it was just like a real feel good, kicked me off for a good week here, and just like wrapped up a busy last week. So it was just like a really feel good for me for a high. For a low, I'm kind of like going through, I know we try to like not make our highs and lows super work related, but for me, a low right now, I think I'm just kind of going through like a brain rut, like for writing and stuff. I like a little background for anyone that doesn't know. So I'm the writer here for Leo and LAINE. So I write captions for most of our clients. And I think I'm just kind of like going through, and maybe it is the weather too. Now that everything's going to start to get nice, I'll like get back into the groove of things. But all right. Well, so for today's topic, we are talking about starting a business. So although Lynzee is, the main one who has started Leo and LAINE, and with us being such a small business, we all have sort of like gone through a lot of that together. But I definitely wanted to use this episode as kind of like getting a little bit of picking your guys' brain a little bit, with you and Kay being like the leading force of Leo and LAINE. And I think everyone can definitely learn from you guys. And, so we're going to kick it off with my first question. What has been one of the most rewarding parts of launching Leo and LAINE?
I think for me, seeing the fruits of our labor, and you had mentioned that I'm the one on the LLC for formality purposes, but outside of that, we say all the time, like, we are starting this business, all 5 of us really, the 5 or 6 or however many, that's in our core. And seeing that the roles that we're defining and the work that we're producing, that people want to buy that as a service and as a product, like, to me, that's so rewarding, because for a long time, I think any new business owner struggles to find value in what they're doing. And when you realize that like people will trust you with their brand and pay you to do what you love to do, that to me, I think was so rewarding. And seeing it all kind of come together and unfold.
Yeah, I think to go off of that rewarding part is we've definitely surprised ourselves along the way of what we are capable of, and what I think, just thinking about all the places we've gone, all the things we've done, all the people we've met, like the friendships, and even within our team, like that has been the most rewarding, because none of this would ever happened if we wouldn't have started the business. So
I'm excited too. You talk about like the places that we've gone and things that we've done. I get excited when we talk to businesses who are 5 years old and 10 years old. And I feel like some of the milestones we've already reached in year one. Like we never thought that we would be a nationwide company, like, and have clients in New York and California and North Carolina and soon somewhere else. So it's like, to be able to say that and then to see it all unfold, like I mentioned, and like Kayla says, like we're surprising ourselves, but it does become tricky too, because then we're such perfectionists. So
yeah.
I think that, yeah, it's so rewarding, but you have to kind of remind yourself that it is fun and to enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole rewarding aspect is like just really seeing it all come together, like your vision that you had for however many years, and then for me just to be a part of that is such a rewarding, like be a part of bringing it all together, which I think is always the goal for a business. Like, right, this is what I had in mind, and now we're actually
doing it.
So
we're pulling it off. Yeah.
And like the freedom to do it our own way. We get to make the decisions, whether that's good or bad. But we get to define the business, and we get to define how we move going forward.
Yeah.
That brings me to number 2. What has been the hardest part of launching your own business? I'm sure there are many, so maybe keep it to a minimum, but
Okay, you go first.
It's really hard. I mean, it's hard. The whole thing it's not just fun and games as much as we try to make it seem that way, in which it is 90% of the time, but we didn't know a lot of things. We still don't know a lot of things. So figuring things out as we go, and back to the decisions, like you have to make the tough ones. You have to fix maybe some decisions we've made haven't been the right ones. So you kind of just have to trust your gut and go. And it's a both. You're never going to shut it off. Owning your own business, you're not done at 5 o'clock. It's a 24/7 thing. So if you want to start your own business, be ready to work harder than you've ever worked.
And it's the hustle, right? And we talk about it all the time, but I love that this is so cheesy, and I just came up with a saying, but like this opportunity though is like the hustle is connected to the heart. And before, like in jobs that I was in, like this sounds kind of lame, but like I'm a born hustler. Like I can't sit still. Peace. I can't sit back. Like I'm just constantly like, what can I be working on and what can I improve? And so I love that my hustle now is going towards something that like I love and that I'm passionate about. But to your question, P, like what has been hard? It's like, for me, it's saying no, because my heart is all in and I love the team, but I struggle to define like when to cut it off, when to say no, because people come to us and they say like, we need your help. Like that every new business call or email that we get is someone coming to us saying, we love what you do and we want to know if we can be a part of that. And I'm learning that like I have to say no. And I heard something today that says you have to say no to the good to make room for the great. And that's something that like as a business owner, I'm learning actually from you guys. Like you guys saying, hey, we need the process needs to be evolved in order to take this on, or this isn't really a good fit with what we're going after in terms of new business. So that's been the challenge, because I do want to help everyone. And I think in the beginning we were saying yes to a lot just to get the business up and running. But now with what Kayla said in the question before, like we are in control and we can pick and choose, and it's just making sure that it's the right fit, not just for our business and the brand, but for our team and for the quality of work. So
I love that. I mean, some cheesy things in there, but I loved all of that.
We'll turn them into social media posts later.
Yeah, I'll just pull a few of these for some captions.
Exactly.
The hustle is harder. What is it?
Yeah, I'm a born hustler.
I'm a born hustler, yeah. That one is for sure going to make
No, but I really did like the say no to the good to make room for the great. Like that, oh, yeah. You know, we talk about all the time how we listen to podcasts and we feel as though there's a reason this podcast aired today. It's like a sign from the universe, and it feels a lot like we're going through. And when I heard that, I was like, holy crap, that's real. Like that is hitting me at my core right now. Shout out to Girlfriends in Business. We love the new podcast.
Okay, so I know that Leo and LAINE has experienced some rapid growth in the last year. What has that been like? I mean, I've felt it a little bit, but I would love your point of views on that, and I can kind of add to it from my standpoint as well.
It's been like everything. Like, truthfully, it's the roller coaster that people describe of emotions. We have big wins and we're celebrating. And I remember the one time we were all meeting in the Think Bar conference room and we were pouring champagne because we signed a new client or some big thing to celebrate. Like, there's highs like you'll never believe. On that same vein, there's lows, and there's moments of like feeling really scared, like, can we take this on, or are we prepared for this? There's really hard learning moments, like when, you know, you have a typo or something happens and you know you're better than that, and it's like, you know, you're working through those growing pains. So to me, it's just been a little bit of everything in this rapid growth, and I've been trying to just let it all sink in and like take my time feeling those feelings and executing on what I think is the right next move and planning and all of that. But
yeah, I think lately we've really forced ourselves to slow down a little bit. We did see such growth like right off the bat and even over the last year, which is crazy that we were just going balls to the wall.
It's formally informal. You can say that.
But lately, I think we've forced ourselves to slow down internally, button things up a little bit, really start looking at things. And we've said this before, but like just taking it in and enjoying it, because if we grew that much that quickly right away, like, God only knows where the heck the next 5 years are going to take us. So if we don't enjoy it and we just let it go right by us,
yeah. I think we know time flies. Like, that's a given. And if we don't enjoy it, but also like sometimes when we get down on ourselves because we are perfectionists or that imposter syndrome sets in, that's when I also think about like what you just said, Kayla. If this is what we've accomplished in year one, then like what are we truly are capable of something so amazing in 5 years and 10 years. And I mean, how many come to Jesus moments have we had? We call those, because but that's so
great.
Had
a few just like in
the last couple weeks. I know, but that's what it takes. And I think internally we're really great at communicating, and there's always stuff that we can improve on, but the fact that we like call it out, we address it, we shift, we evolve, and we're not stuck to one way of doing something. Like, we are all really flexible, and it just allows us to keep, you know, making sure we're on the right track.
Yeah. I will say from like my standpoint, I think, and maybe I speak for everyone else, maybe I don't, but I think the hardest thing for me has been like getting to a point of like asking for help, or like, you know, with so much growth and we're all taking on so much. And I think, you know, we've all kind of talked about this a little bit in our team meetings, but it's just like getting to that point of then, you know, we're all people that want to just like do our job and do it right and be great at it and stuff. And so it's hard to like let go of some of that. But I think with the growth, we're, at least personally, I'm just learning that whole like letting it go and asking for help when I need it. That way quality doesn't drop, or, you know, we're not missing parts on things or what have you. So that definitely has been.
Yeah, I think something I always saw at previous jobs was like when everyone finished what they were working on, if it's 4:59, 5 o'clock hits, they're out the door, peace, and I found myself there, whether it was I had a lot on my plate or poor time management, I don't know, but I would find myself there till like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And I was always missing that factor of someone being like, hey, I'm about to leave. Can I help you? And what we all have done from the get-go has been like, hey, are you overwhelmed? Like, what can I take off your plate, or what can I support you with? And I think communicating and letting us utilize each other's strengths, so we know if we have a lot on our plate, like, who can we lean on? And that's been so special, I think, in our team. And I don't see that anywhere else, which has been really cool.
Yeah. What's a small business?
Yeah. That's the heart for the hustle, or whatever I said.
And then just like one piece of advice, anyone that is starting a new business, or they have already started it and now they're thinking, now what? Is there anything that you wish someone would have told you when you first started it that you'd like to share?
Go for it. I think we all get hung up on everything needing to be perfect. Yeah. And you sit and you plan and you don't have everything in place. And I mean, I think the best thing I did, I'm 10 years late to the game. I wish I would have gone for it 10 years ago. And it's not that people, actually, people didn't tell me that. I mean, maybe my mom did. But, like, those around you are just constantly like, well, do you need insurance? And do you need a steady paycheck? And, that companies could always insource. And you're constantly like, I'm so thankful to have devil's advocates in my life, because without them, like, I probably would have gone for some things that I shouldn't have. But when you're wanting to do something like this, and I've admired you both and Hannah and Harley and the people that did just go for it, We joke that, like, I need to feed you all. I need to put dinner on your tables. And you trusted me. And what we've seen from just going for it and taking that leap of faith, I mean, I could cry right now. It's so rewarding, and I'm so grateful.
If you were a Cancer, you would be crying right now.
I know, right? But I'm a Leo, and I hold it together.
Let's not let the emotions fly, because...
Well, I have no control over if I start to get sentimental.
Capricorns bottle them up, right? Yeah. Your little bottle of emotions over there.
So look out when they come out. I would say piece of advice is just be you and do it how you want to do it. There's so many other people, and you trying to be like someone else is not going to do anything for you. There's a reason we are where we are today, and it's because of us. And our personalities are differing personalities, and like,
you're welcome.
The blend we bring. So I would say, embrace that authentic self.
Which is kind of just a thought I had, like, the differing personalities. If you need to, like, if you're ready to go for it, but maybe you don't have like a salesy personality, like you don't like being in front of people, like, then that's where it's like, lean on your best friend and just be like, hey, can you join me? I mean, that was kind of when I reached out to Kayla, I knew that I was creative. I knew I could sell it. I knew I could sell it because I believed in it. But I'm like, the balls are going to drop, right? Like, I can't stay organized if I have all this going on. Like, I don't want to sacrifice quality or miss a deadline. So I brought in sort of, I don't know what side of the brain Kayla is versus I think I'm right brain and you're left brain, but like, that was the best decision. Like, so, if you feel like you want to go for it, but you're way more behind the scenes or something, then just.
I think too, to that point, not only to have some, like, starting a business on your own is probably not going to bring you the same amount of joy as starting it with someone else.
I agree.
You can't share the highs. You can't share the hell lows.
Hellish they are.
Yeah. You can't share the unlimited PTO. You can't share. I mean, there's tons of things to share with someone by your side, but there's definitely solo entrepreneurs out there killing it. Don't get us wrong, but it has been fun, like, having, someone by my side. And then as we've grown too, like, we all don't leave each other's side a lot of the times.
Kind of like laugh into it now. Like, you are my people.
No turning back.
You have advice?
Oh, I mean, I think you guys touched on it all. I would definitely say, I mean, like what Elle said, just go for it. You know, I mean, you'll never know until you try, and it could be a total failure. I mean, it could absolutely blow up in your face, and that's totally fine. It's just about like what you learned from it.
Right.
So I think that, you know, if it's something you're passionate about, or, you know, like you're worried about what other people will think, I mean, who the heck cares?
Yeah.
You know, just
And
if you're wanting to do it and it's going to bring you joy, life is too short, you know, to work for the company that's making you dread every single day. So start your own business and go for it.
yeah, I feel like turning all of those moments into opportunities. Like,
Yeah.
don't see it as like a failure, or don't see it as a missed like everything happens for a reason. So if you look at it as an opportunity and then address it and think how you can change or how you can grow it, like, go. Have a fallback plan, maybe? Like, maybe that's the right advice.
Yeah. If it doesn't go the exact way you're wanting, like what is plan B?
What did I say to you, Kayla? When you first came on, I was like, okay, I did a spreadsheet. I can make sure that you're eating for 6 months. I can keep you alive for 6 months. Yeah. And can yeah, like a Tamagotchi. But I said, you know, if we can't sustain it after that, like if you're going to leave your full-time job, do you feel confident that you can get something if this goes down in a blazing fire, you know, like, but we both were like, yeah, I think we can get a new job. So we had kind of our backup plans and we just went for it. So it's definitely good to talk about that kind of stuff, but.
Awesome. Well, I love this chat.
Yeah.
I really do.
One was better than the first. So.
Yeah. It's only up from there.
It is only going to go up from here.
Yeah.
We'd love to know what you guys want to listen to us ramble about for a half hour.
Actually, so that brings me to wrapping up today's chat, our episode 1. So our next episode is actually going to be full-on rapid fire questions, which can be about anything. So I will be hopping on our Instagram story probably a few days before we film the rapid fire one to give everyone time to ask their questions. But that will be, I'm excited for that one because hopefully people will ask us more just like, you know, personal or non-business. It could be business related, whatever they want it to be. Why we have things going off constantly, why we don't know how to set boundaries. TBD, we're working on it, okay?
I turned that thing off.
Your messages,
yeah, that's a question.
Let us know. I pretty much closed that app and they're still coming in, so. All right, should we cheers then?
So what are you guys cheersing to tonight? I know none of us are drinking, so we're going to cheers our LaCroix.
Oh, here. I'm a bubbly girl.
I'm cheersing to getting shit done this week.
Productive week.
Getting my life back together, yes.
I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I have a personal milestone coming up within not like a milestone, but like something that I'm hoping for good news in the next couple of weeks. So I'm manifesting some good news and we'll see. So maybe the next Formally Informal, I'll cheers again. I don't know.
A new high.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that could be it.
Right. So for my cheers is more of a thank you really to everyone that showed us so much love and support on our episode 0, because like we said, we almost archived it because it was honestly such a hot mess. But maybe it wasn't, like in our eyes, like we said, we're somewhat of perfectionists, so
we took our own advice and just went for it.
For listening in and commenting and showing us their love. That was awesome. So thank you. Thank you for that.
For sure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.